Thunder rumbles through Gotham's sky as Batman watches from a rooftop, his silhouette barely visible against the neon-lit city. A sudden sonic boom cuts through the storm as Superman descends from the clouds, landing just a few feet away. The wind from his arrival sends Batman's cape rippling. "Bruce," Superman says, his voice calm but firm. Batman tightens his fists. "Clark, this is my city." Superman takes a step forward, his red eyes faintly glowing. "And I'm not here to let you tear it apart." The tension is thick. The battle is about to begin. Superman moves first, closing the distance in a blink. Batman barely has time to react before the Kryptonian grips his armor's shoulder plate. "Stand down, Bruce," Superman warns. Batman smirks under his mask. "You know me better than that." With a sudden jolt, Batman activates his suit's electrified gauntlet, sending thousands of volts into Superman's arm. The Man of Steel flinches, momentarily stunned. Batman seizes the moment, flipping backward and launching a smoke grenade to create cover. Superman's patience wears thin. With a swift motion, he disperses the smoke with a powerful clap, sending shockwaves across the rooftop. Batman braces himself, but Superman is already in front of him. A single punch sends Batman flying into a nearby water tower, smashing through it. Water spills everywhere as Batman struggles to his feet. "Damn it," he mutters, shaking off the impact. Superman hovers above, arms crossed. "You can't win this, Bruce." Batman smirks, blood trickling from his lip. "I don't have to win. I just have to make you lose." As water drips from his armor, Batman reaches into his utility belt, retrieving a small lead-lined capsule. With a swift motion, he crushes it in his palm. Green vapor hisses into the air. Superman's expression darkens as he stumbles back, feeling the weakening effects of kryptonite. "Not so invincible now, are you?" Batman growls, lunging forward. He delivers a rapid sequence of strikes, each blow aimed at Superman's pressure points, exploiting his brief vulnerability. Superman grits his teeth, summoning his remaining strength to counterattack. Despite the kryptonite's effects, Superman clenches his fists and retaliates. With blinding speed, he grabs Batman's wrist mid-punch, twisting it just enough to force him to drop the capsule. Batman barely has time to react before Superman launches him across the rooftop with a single push. He crashes through a metal railing, skidding to a halt. Superman breathes heavily, shaking off the kryptonite's lingering effects. "Enough, Bruce. You don't have to do this." But Batman, ever the strategist, is already activating his next move. Batman taps a hidden button on his gauntlet, and the rooftop suddenly hums with energy. Hidden sonic emitters activate, unleashing a high-frequency sound wave specifically designed to disrupt Superman's super hearing. The Man of Steel staggers, clutching his ears as the unbearable noise rattles his skull. Batman doesn't waste a second. He fires a grappling hook, swinging around the rooftop to gain momentum before launching a precision kick straight into Superman's chest, sending him crashing into a ventilation unit. Superman groans, pushing debris off himself. His patience is gone. His eyes glow an intense red as twin beams of searing heat explode from his pupils, slicing through the rooftop toward Batman. The Dark Knight barely evades, rolling to the side as the heat vision scorches a path through steel and concrete. The temperature rises dramatically. Batman calculates his next move, realizing he can't afford a direct hit from Superman's full power. The rooftop begins to crumble under the sheer power of the heat vision. Batman launches a cluster of explosive batarangs, detonating them in midair to create a blinding distraction. Superman shields his face as the explosions erupt. Taking advantage of the chaos, Batman fires his grappling hook to escape to a nearby building, but Superman recovers too quickly. In an instant, he takes flight, intercepting Batman midair and slamming him onto another rooftop below. Batman gasps as the impact rattles through his reinforced armor. Cracks form along his chest plate. Superman lands softly, towering over him. "You can't keep this up, Bruce," he says, his voice almost pleading. But Batman refuses to yield. He presses a button on his gauntlet, activating the emergency reinforcement system in his suit. The armor hums, redistributing impact force and giving him one last fighting chance. "Watch me," Batman mutters, rising to his feet. Batman clenches his fists as the reinforcements in his suit activate. The HUD in his cowl flashes warnings. His suit can only handle so much. Superman steps forward, fists clenched. "Enough, Bruce. Stand down." But Batman doesn't. He lunges, throwing a smoke pellet that erupts in a thick, blinding cloud. Using the cover, he delivers a powerful electrified punch to Superman's jaw, making the Man of Steel stagger for the first time. But it comes at a cost. His gauntlet sparks, circuits fried from the impact. Superman barely recovers before countering. In a blink, he vanishes from sight, moving at super speed. Batman barely has time to react as Superman appears behind him, gripping his cape and yanking him off his feet. With a single, controlled toss, he sends Batman crashing through a rooftop billboard. Neon sparks fly as Batman crashes to the ground, groaning in pain. Superman hovers above him, his expression unreadable. "You can't win this, Bruce." Batman breathes heavily, pressing a switch on his utility belt. From the shadows, mechanical drones activate, releasing kryptonite-infused nets. Superman barely has time to react before the glowing green strands wrap around him, constricting his movements. His strength falters as the deadly radiation seeps into his body. Batman struggles to his feet, his cape torn, blood dripping from his forehead. "You underestimate me, Clark," he mutters, stepping forward. Superman grits his teeth, struggling against the kryptonite netting constricting him. His muscles tremble as he channels every ounce of willpower into resisting the poison coursing through his veins. With a sudden burst of heat vision, he sears through part of the net, weakening its hold. Summoning the last reserves of his strength, he lets out a thunderous roar and rips himself free, the remnants of the glowing strands falling around him like embers. Batman instinctively takes a step back. He wasn't expecting Superman to break free so soon. Batman knows he's running out of options. His armor is failing, his weapons depleted, and Superman is back at full strength. Without hesitation, he triggers a sequence on his wrist computer. A high-pitched frequency echoes across the rooftop, an emergency signal for the Batwing. Above the city, the sleek aircraft responds, diving toward his location. Batman doesn't wait. He fires his grappling hook and swings toward the approaching jet. Just as Superman lunges after him with supersonic speed, the night sky becomes a battlefield as Batman dangles beneath the Batwing, narrowly dodging Superman's grasp. The aircraft swerves sharply, trying to shake off the Man of Steel. But Superman is relentless. With a single punch, he shatters part of the Batwing's hull, sending sparks flying. Batman barely manages to stabilize himself, pulling himself into the cockpit. "Computer, evasive maneuvers," he commands. The Batwing banks hard, spiraling away as Superman hovers, watching with piercing eyes. Superman doesn't let Batman escape so easily. With a burst of speed, he catches up to the Batwing, placing both hands against the ship's wing. With a powerful shove, the aircraft lurches sideways, alarms blaring inside the cockpit. Batman struggles to regain control, but Superman follows up with another blow, denting the metal. Sparks fly as the Batwing spirals out of control, plummeting toward the Gotham skyline. Inside, Batman grits his teeth, activating emergency eject protocols. At the last second, the cockpit canopy blasts open, and Batman rockets out, his cape flaring behind him. He deploys his glider mode, maneuvering between Gotham's skyscrapers with precision. The Batwing crashes into an abandoned construction site, exploding on impact. Superman hovers above, watching as Batman lands on the rooftop of a high-rise. The Dark Knight turns to face him, battered but unbroken. "Is that all you got?" he taunts, wiping blood from his mouth. Superman lands in front of Batman, his cape billowing behind him. "This ends now, Bruce," he says, his voice calm but firm. Batman narrows his eyes. "You're right," he replies, pressing a hidden button on his gauntlet. Suddenly, the rooftop beneath them shifts, hidden shockwave generators activate, sending a concussive blast that knocks Superman off balance. Batman seizes the moment, throwing a concentrated kryptonite gas pellet at Superman's feet. The gas erupts in a green mist, forcing Superman to stumble back. Superman shakes off the effects of the gas, his eyes glowing red with fury. Batman braces himself as Superman lunges forward, fists raised. The two collide with earth-shattering force, the impact sending shockwaves across the rooftop. Batman counters with a well-timed explosive charge, staggering Superman momentarily. But the Man of Steel recovers quickly, grabbing Batman by the collar and lifting him off the ground. "Enough of this," he says, tightening his grip. Batman, gasping for breath, smirks. "That's what I was waiting for," he whispers, activating his last trick, a high-voltage electrical discharge through his suit, sending thousands of volts coursing through Superman's body. Superman stumbles back, his muscles locking up from the electric surge. Batman crashes to the ground, gasping for air. For a moment, there is silence. Then, Superman kneels, taking deep breaths. Batman pushes himself up, exhausted but victorious in his own way. "I wasn't trying to win," Batman mutters. "I was proving a point." Superman exhales, his anger subsiding. He extends a hand. "Then we're done here." Batman hesitates, then clasps Superman's hand firmly. The battle is over, but their uneasy alliance remains.